Really, he's a very likeable man, isn't he? I think that's one of his kind of most positive points. You get some racing drivers who are very, involved in themselves, but Ramon is one of the nicest guys you'll meet, racing driver or not.
Yeah, you're right, and also interestingly, he normally brings a real entourage of people with physiotherapists and PR gurus and all this sort of people, but this week with none of them and performed much better, so maybe he needs to ditch those, I think.
And he's got Martin Donnelly here this weekend, who, I don't know if he's technically his manager, but he kind of looks after Ramon's racing interests. Mickey Monras is about to overtake Jordan King into Paddock Hill Bend, but he's about to have a go anyway, but Ramon Piñeiro is making his way into the right-hander out the back of the circuit at Hawthorns. He did get past, didn't he, Mickey Monras, around the outside of Jordan King, so that was the move for 9th position. But Ramon Piñeiro makes his way down into Stirling's for the final time. I don't think you are going to see a happier race winner in Formula 2 this season. He also becomes our second race winner of the weekend. Ramon Piñeiro turns into clearways. He made an excellent start, took the lead around the outside at Paddock Hill Bend, and now he's seeing the checker flag. Ramon Piñeiro wins for the first time in FIA Formula 2. It's been a weekend of first wins because Jack Clark comes home in 3rd place. Yesterday's winner, Bortolotti, who's always seems to be winning, finishes in 2nd place. Very happy mechanic and engineer on the pit wall for Ramon. It's quite a long wait before Mihai Marinescu comes home in 4th place. Very long way actually. Here he comes now, so he'll be quite pleased with that. I think is that his best result of the season. It equals his best result, didn't we? I said that earlier at Silverstone, but some 21 seconds off the lead. Hegervold unable to make it past. 6th and 7th, Aman Ibrahim will be very pleased to have held on ahead, but there is Ramon Piñeiro, a very happy young man, and he takes the victory here in Brands Hatch, and a delighted young man. There's nothing I can say. I'm delighted for him, and it's great to see another winner in Formula 2 as well.
Yeah, I think he really deserves it, doesn't he? Because he's really been, as we said earlier, he's had the pace all the time, but hasn't been able to convert it into race wins. And yeah, very likeable driver, and obviously the help with Martin Donnelly is really turning into a fine young racing driver.
And he did it comfortably, didn't he? He won the race fairly comfortably, I would venture, because although overtaking is difficult, you tend to find that kind of 1 to 1.5 second gap means someone's faster but is getting held up, but a 3 second gap at the end of the race shows that he had it under control.
Yeah, exactly. I think he had it under control. He had 2 or 3 tenths when he needed to over the guys behind him, despite Bortolotti having less laps on his qualifying tyres, so a fantastic job from him.
So Ramon down there he is, congratulating Martin Donnelly. Well, Martin Donnelly congratulating him, I should say. Ramon Piñeiro, the race winner at Brands Hatch, and he is delighted with that. 2nd place for Bortolotti. And well, I said we wouldn't see many happier winners this season. He's going to put on one of those fluorescent t-shirts. Actually, I was accosted in the media centre, and apparently I've got one of those fluorescent t-shirts and caps coming to me at some point this weekend, so I look forward to that. Mirko Bortolotti, he'll be satisfied with 2nd place. He didn't seem particularly happy after qualifying. We don't really know what happened in qualifying, but he took pole position, but didn't seem particularly chuffed. Once again, we've seen pole position at Brands Hatch, not perfect.
Yeah, that's sort of standard for Brands Hatch, unfortunately, but obviously you can't aim for anything other than your very best, so you have to put up with it, as it were, if you get pole position, which is sometimes a bit of a disadvantage here, but you know, they were good. They were lucky enough to hold off Jack Clark, who had another storming start again, but you know, they both Piñeiro and Bortolotti made sure he didn't come through.
There is Jack Clark. They were very wise to it, weren't they? And he darted back to the inside, didn't he, to try and get the inside line of Paddock Hill Bend. Such was his momentum, but he had to back out of it because otherwise he would have ended his race in the Armco barriers, which is not a particularly pleasant place to be. There is Beaver, the Formula 2 photographer, congratulating Jack Clark, and very shortly we will have some interviews with the top 3 down there with James Gornall, but we will speak to our top 3 drivers very shortly, which will be great to hear how happy Ramon Piñeiro is after that win. So Marinescu 4th, Hegervold 5th, Aman Ibrahim completing the top 6. So Ramon Piñeiro victorious here at Brands Hatch in the second race of the weekend, the final race of the weekend for the FIA Formula 2 Championship, and as a result he moves himself up a little bit in the order. So our third place man then, we're going to speak to our top three. Jack Clark, yesterday's race winner, is down in the pit lane, just got out of the car with James Cornell.
Jack, congratulations on another podium, topping off what's been a really good weekend for you.
Yeah, it's been, if I'd have been told I'd get a first and a third beginning of the weekend, I think I would have taken that, considering the pace this year. Yeah, I gave it my all, but I'm happy with that result. You know, you can't knock third place.
Do you see this form continuing to the Red Bull Ring?
I'm going to work on it. Yeah, I'm really in a good place right now. You know, all three of us were in the zone up there. You know, in the top three. You know, looking in my mirrors and there was no one in sight, so I knew that we were all pushing really hard. And yeah, I'm hoping to take that into Red Bull Ring.
Well done, Jack.
Cheers, thanks.
Mirko, you had a very good run there to second place, well done. What went wrong at the start though?
Well, I don't have to explain you. You know it better than myself that in the Brands Hatch pole position is not really helping because it's uphill, so at the end I'm very happy that I was P2 at the first corner and not P7. So at the end I'm very happy with second position, good points for me. And yeah, very, very nice for us, very good.
So you're thinking about the championship now?
Well, you're always trying to do your best, but obviously you know that Brands Hatch is very difficult to overtake. So after the first couple of laps, I saw that I'm P2, solid second position. So good points.
Thanks, Mirko.
Thanks.
Ramon Piñeiro, congratulations on your first win in the FIA Formula 2 Championship.
Thank you very much. It feels awesome. I knew the start was everything, so really focus on that. I got the first corner first. I'm going to start to pull up good gap and then just keep that, you know. It was the longest race of my life, really.
You did seem to have complete control of that race, though.
I was pushing quite hard. I think Mirko was the same. I think Mirko saved all the boost for the last few laps, and he was just coaching me all the way, but I knew that. So that was a nice win, nice. Back on Brands Hatch, turn my luck around and see if it keeps going like this.
You say you've turned it around. What's changed for you?
Just nothing, you know. I just did the same procedures before the race. Everything the same. Just, you know, I could manage the first lap, and I just want to, you know, to dedicate my victory to all the victims of Norway. That's been hard days in these moments. So I'm just all for them.
Okay, thank you, Ramon.
You're welcome.
A nicer man you will go a long way to find. Ramon Piñeiro, race winner, and he is being shepherded away by Tom Phillips to get on with the podium presentation. Here's a look at the results then. Bortolossi really did close in. Third place was not Will Bratt. For some reason, third place on these results always appears to be Will Bratt, but it was Jack Clark who came in third place, Marinescu in fourth, Hagevold fifth, Ibrahim sixth, Zanella seventh. Benjamin Lariche also picking up points, along with Miki Monras and Jordan King. Only Lariche's second points finish of the season, actually. He's another man who Silverstone goes well for, Britain goes well for, because he picked up points in Silverstone. Mikkel Mack shunted down to 11th place. James Cole in 12th place, another strong performance from him. So it's been a better weekend for James Cole, that has to be said. And it's good to see him getting back into the flow of things, because as a British Formula 4 champion and a runner-up in the British Formula 3 national class, he's certainly a driver we expected to be a little bit further up the order than he has been so far this season, but he's starting to turn things around, get used to these 500 brake horsepower cars. Here's a look at the championship then. Bortolotti extends his lead, Miki Monras dropping a little bit further back, but look at that, Tobias Hagevold and Will Bratt now only separated by 1 point. Bratt, of course, not here this weekend. Clark in 6th and Piñeiro in 7th. They're all just kind of starting to close in on that 4th spot, aren't they? None of them have particularly moved position, but they're all just starting to close in. Alex Brundle is a man who is dropping back because of his 2 non-points finishes this weekend, the same as Silverstone. Aman Ibrahim there, then in 11th position. He is Indian, in case you were wondering, but that didn't come up on the screens. But he moves into 11th position in the championship. But an excellent weekend of racing here at Brands Hatch. It's great to see the cars around this 2.3 mile circuit. But Ramon Piñeiro takes to the top of the podium, punches the air, absolutely delighted. He hasn't got his horrific fluorescent t-shirt on today, which is good. Second place, Mirko Bortolotti. And third position goes the way of Britain Jack Clark at his home event, so he's no doubt very pleased with that as well. For the second time this season then, it's the Spanish national anthem. Congratulations, Ramon. The second time we've heard that after Miki Monras's win at Silverstone in the second race back in April. A little bit of housekeeping quickly. Timo Storz is under investigation. We're not entirely sure what for after he crashed his car out of the race then. And the trophies then will be presented. First of all to our race winner, Ramon Piñeiro. And that is a trophy he will treasure, I think, for a long, long time. As he receives it, driving the 19-year-old from Barcelona, who picked up 4 wins on his way to third place in the Formula Palmer Audi last year, racing against some pretty tough opposition. That cheer you can hear is for Jack Clark. He appears to have brought every person he's ever met this weekend to Brands Hatch to get some support. And the champagne now is handed over to Ramon Piñeiro. Wait until the other 3 get their champagne, and then I think it's going to be a very messy podium, and Ramon Piñeiro might arrive at the smelling a bit sweet. The champagne then is underway, and Ramon Piñeiro, a very happy young man, taking the win in the 10th round of the season. One of the grid girls made it off, the other was too slow to react, and as a result has been coated in champagne. So she escapes, but a great result for Ramon Piñeiro. Here's a look then at how he made it. It was a poor start actually from Bortolotti, wasn't it? Here's Jack Clark diving to the inside, and that was close to ending up in the Armco, wasn't it? And into the first corner. It took bravery to go around the outside there, didn't it?
Yeah, fantastic move though, and as Bortolotti was hinting, it is very difficult to get away from pole position here at Brands Hatch, and Piñeiro knew that, and if you're alongside, at least on the way into paddock, there's a fair chance you can try and go around the outside. So fantastic move, and then a good couple of laps after that to really pull that 2-second gap, and then here's Brundle going off, and also we think it was Snooks behind him.
Yeah, that was where Brundle's race started to go a bit wrong. It dropped him down to the back of the field, apart from Kelvin Snooks, who also would later retire. But then we saw Jose Luis Abadin taking a little trip through the gravel up there at Sheen. But Ramon Piñeiro began to gently pull away at the front. It looked early on as though Bortolotti could keep the pace and may well close in, but alas, that wasn't to be. The Italian starting to drop back just a little bit. There he is. You can see the gap that Ramon built up fairly early on. Bortolotti then closed it, but it went back out with Jack Clark following Bortolotti all the way, really. Timo Storz, Christopher Zanella made his way further up the field. Timo Storz ended his race backwards into the barriers up there at Sheen, and Max Negrev out of the race after a coming together with Aman Ibrahim that we didn't see but is under investigation. Miki Monras had to made a mistake somewhere, but he made his way back up the order, passing James Cole and then Mikkelmack. But Ramon Piñeiro took the win. The Checo flag fell for him after 28 laps of hard racing. A second and a first this weekend for Ramon Piñeiro. These are the kind of weekends he needs to launch his championship assault. And a very popular win. 2 popular wins in the paddock, I think it's fair to say. Jack Clark and Ramon Piñeiro both taking their first wins in FIA Formula 2 this weekend. So on the 27th, I think, and 28th of August, we are at the A1 ring in Austria, which is now the Red Bull ring, which I venture may well be a brand new circuit to a lot of the drivers, Jonathan.
Yeah, I think there's not many championships that have gone there, junior championships, so it will be quite good to see which drivers can make the most of seeing the circuit for the very first time. It's quite hard to get there for any track days or anything, so it'll be very interesting.
Well, my thanks to Jonathan Kennard for joining me in the commentary box. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Jack Nichols. and we will see you next time, late August, at the A1 ring.